Today, we're diving into the pretty amazing science of moving together. It's this invisible force that can build some really powerful connections. But, and this is the interesting part, it can also, surprisingly, push us even further apart. Just, think about it for a second. That perfect moment of connection where everything just clicks. It could be something simple like clapping along at a concert and hitting the beat at the exact same time as everyone else. Or maybe a high five that just lands perfectly. Well, turns out those moments feel good for a reason. That feeling has a name, and it has this powerful effect on how we all relate to each other. Yeah, scientists actually call it interpersonal synchrony. It's basically when our movements line up in time, and it acts like this incredible social glue, bonding us to the people we're with. Okay, so if synchrony is this powerful social glue, could we actually use it to tackle a major social problem? I'm talking about the growing divide between different generations. See, the thing is, as populations get older, younger and older people are living more and more separate lives. And that separation, well, it's kind of the perfect breeding ground for stereotypes and, this really damaging social issue we call ageism. And that led a group of researchers to a really fascinating question. Could they take this social glue of synchrony and use it to bridge that gap, to actually bring younger and older people closer together? So to find out, they designed this brilliant experiment, and it was all centered around one of the most universal forms of synchrony there is, dancing. They brought in 168 people who were all complete strangers to one another. And they split them up. Half were young adults, between 20 and 45 years old, and the other half were older adults, from 65 all the way up to 90. The setup was pretty simple. People were paired up, they watched a quick video of some seated dance moves, so anyone could do it, and then, for just 11 minutes, they performed those moves together, facing their partner. Afterwards, everyone filled out surveys about the experience. But here's the twist. This is the crucial part. Some pairs were in the synchronous group, so they listened to the same music at the same speed through their headphones. Easy. But the other pairs, they were in the asynchronous group. They heard the same song, but at different speeds. One person got it at 90 beats per minute, the other at 110. It was literally impossible for them to sync up. And this really clever setup was all designed to test 3 specific predictions about how moving together, or, not moving together, would affect how connected people felt. So, first up was the most basic question of all. Does moving in time really, truly make us feel closer to another person? And the results? They were crystal clear. The pairs who danced in sync reported a social bonding score of 3.52 out of 7. That's way higher than the 3.01 for the pairs who were out of sync. So, yeah, it confirms it. Moving together really does work like a social glue. So, boom, hypothesis number 1 was confirmed. That whole social glue idea, it's absolutely real. Moving together really does bond us. Okay, next up, the researchers looked at their second prediction, and this one was all about age. They figured that the younger people in the study would just generally be more open to making new friends no matter what kind of dance they did. And again, they were right on the money. After that 11-minute dance session, the young adults reported a much bigger jump in how close they felt to the other generation. So far, everything makes perfect sense, right? A pretty straightforward story. But, and you knew there was a but coming, this is where the whole story takes a fascinating and totally unexpected turn. The final hypothesis seemed like a total lock, but the results, well, they challenged everything. I mean, the final prediction just seemed obvious. The biggest increase in closeness between generations should happen when a young person and an older person dance in sync with each other. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, that is not at all what happened. So what did happen? Just take a look at this, because this is where it gets wild. The most surprising results came from the groups who couldn't sync up. Incredibly, the biggest positive change, the biggest jump in feeling closer to the other generation came from dancing awkwardly with someone from your own age group. And on the flip side, doing that same out-of-sync dance with someone from a different generation, it actually made people feel less close. Okay, wait, let's just break that down because it's so weird. The best result came from an awkward, out-of-step dance with someone your own age, and the absolute worst result came from that same awkward dance, but with someone from a different generation. What on earth is going on here?
Well, the researchers think the answer lies in this psychological idea called in group favoritism. It's basically our natural unconscious bias to prefer people we see as being part of our own team, our own group.
And this explains the whole thing perfectly. Think about it. When you have a frustrating, awkward experience with someone from your in-group, someone your age, it can actually make you question your own biases. You might think, maybe my group isn't so perfect after all, and that makes you more open to others. But when you have that same frustrating experience with someone from an out-group, it does the opposite. It just reinforces negative stereotypes you might already have. It's like your brain goes, see, I knew it. We just can't get on the same page. So it all leaves us with this final, fascinating question. To really break down our social bubbles and connect with people who are different from us, is perfect harmony always the answer? Or could it be that what we really need sometimes is just a little bit of shared, messy, slightly frustrating awkwardness?